Hey guys, it's George. Welcome to today's video and welcome back to my dining room table. Today we're here to talk about Twice I Can't Stop Me stage outfits. I love this MV. It is one of my favorite Twice songs. I'm a big fan of Twice. So let's just get stuck into these beautiful looks. If you're new to Fashion Expert Reviews, let me explain how it's going to work. I've picked 4 stage performances of I Can't Stop Me, and I go through, talk about the overall concept, the overall looks, and then I pluck out my favorites. And then as it's a review, I rate the overall concept and the overall looks out of 10. And because we're talking about Twice I Can't Stop Me, I'm going to be rating these looks out of 10 pink flowers. Cute. The first performance we're going to be talking about is the 2020 SBS In Daegu performance. These looks are so cute. They're serving me up 90s Chanel vibes. I love 90s Chanel. It's just iconic. I feel like what we've got here is like very 90s Chanel and Clueless, and they've had a little baby and we've got these stage looks here. And what I really like is how it relates back to the MV, you know, in that train station scene when they've got the yellow Clueless looks on. I feel like this is like the pink 90s Chanel version. And I really love the fact that they've played with all these different scales of check. We've got houndstooth, dogtooth, all of the black borders, the gold buttons, and it's just screaming 90s Chanel at me. My first favorite look is Momo, my bias. To me, this is a very 90s Chanel. Screaming Chanel. Chanel! Chanel! Here we've got a cropped notch lapel, double-breasted 2-button blazer, a DB2 in industry terms, and this is a pink and white dogtooth with a very thick black border. The difference between dogtooth and houndstooth is just the scale of it. This is a smaller scale, so it's dog. I'm wearing what would be classed as puppy tooth because it's on an even smaller scale, and then houndstooth is when it's blown up, it's huge, it's in your face. This crop jacket has then been paired with this high-waisted mini skirt. What I really like about this mini skirt is that the proportion to the jacket is just perfect, and we can see that there are these 2 little side slits in the skirt, and this is common amongst a lot of Twice's looks, the 2 little side splits, because it gives them movement when they dance. If they're wearing a tight skirt, they're not going to be able to drop it to the floor. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be a struggle. So those slits are put in there to give them movement more so than a design feature. What's really nice about this skirt is that we've got that thick black band at the top, and then we've got a thinner belt tied around it with that gold chain detail. And then it's also got 2 buttons that are placed in exactly the same position as on the blazer. I think this is a jacket that's been cut in half and made into this piece. And then you can see the pockets on the skirt, that same black edging going all the way around. It's just so well done. It really reminds me of that scene from The Simpsons, you know, where Marge Simpson gets the Chanel suits and she keeps reworking it, reworking it, reworking it. I mean, I'm sure you guys are probably going to be like, a Simpsons reference, really, bitch? But if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I think the thing that I love the most about this look is the white hat. It's just so fucking cute. When I first saw it, I was just like, oh my God, she's adorable. Like, Momo in this hat, I'm just literally like, my heart's melted. It's love it. Next up we have Daeun, and I think this has given me like the strongest 90s Chanel vibes. We've got this cropped tweed white jacket that has that beautiful pearl edging around this collar that swoops up and over the shoulders, and you can see that there's this square piece on the back. It's kind of giving me like sailor vibes. It's so fucking cute. And then we can see it's got the gold buttons. It's an SB3, a single-breasted 3-button jacket. Obviously this is cropped. She's got the chest pockets, the 3/4 length sleeves, which is such a flattering length sleeve on women. And then she's got those fingerless lace gloves. It's just such a cute way to style something. And Karl Lagerfeld, who used to design for Chanel, he was always wearing gloves, always in fingerless gloves. So I love that touch to the styling as well, like giving a nod to him. And then the skirt, we've got this cropped high-waisted skirt. But what I really like about this is that a lot of the other members have houndstooth, dogtooth. We've got this checkerboard check on Daeun. It's different, but it's still in keeping with that concept. And I just think it works really well. It's giving like a 60s mod vibe. And then she's got those gold belts. I don't think it says Chanel. Like, that is like a very big like 90s Chanel thing, those gold belts that say Chanel, but it's giving the same kind of vibe. It just looks so great on her. The silhouette is perfect. The length of the skirt to the length of the jacket, it's so, so good. Daeun's look's then been finished with those black knee-high boots, and then she's got the Bake Boy hat. The Bake Boy hat is adding to that 90s vibe. I'm so here for it. She looks beautiful. I love Daeun. So cute. And then we have Chaeyoung. For me, this is like the least 90s Chanel. If anything, there's more of like an 80s vibe about it. Chaeyoung is wearing this collarless blazer dress in this black and grey houndstooth print. It's so bold, it's so beautiful. It's got this really strong structured shoulder, which is giving her a lot of shape. And then it's cinched in at the waist of that giant belt. I really love this over-the-top waist belt. It's quite fun, it's whimsical, but it's also adding a lot of drama to the look, and it's also breaking up the print, and I think that's the most important thing. If you're wearing a printed dress, you need something that's going to break it up and give you shape. Otherwise, it's just going to swamp you. It's going to become a situation where the dress is wearing you, you're not wearing the dress. It's very graphic, so you need something to break that up, give you a waist, give you some shape. Underneath, she's wearing this magenta shirt. I love it. It's really contrasting and popping out against that grey and black print. It's got that kind of like ruffled scarf looking collar, and then you can see the cuffs poking out from underneath the blazer. I think it's perfect. My eye goes straight to her because it's so bright. Chaeyoung's look's been finished with black booties, very low heel, perfect to dance in, and her look's not really been accessorized that much, but you don't need it with that really strong graphic blazer dress, and then the belt, like, it's done perfectly. I'm gonna give the I Can't Stop Me SBS In Daegu performance 10 out of 10 pink flowers. These looks are perfect. 90s Chanel, Clueless, and it ties back into the MV. It's just chef's kisses all round. Next up, we have the performance from the KBS Song Festival on the 18th of December. Here we've got this really beautiful black and silver color palette. It's very festive. I don't really see how it relates back to the MV at all, but I think the looks are so fun and they're really, really cute. There's also a really cool mix of references here. Some of these looks look so 80s and some of them look very 60s, and some mixed. Like Nayeon and Chaeyoung, their looks look very 60s to me. Whereas Jui's look with the massive silver like puff shoulders and like the little crop top, the little skirt, like it's screaming like 80s to me. Let's start with Jui's look. This color is beautiful on her. This like silvery like, and it's not like a pure metallic silver, like it's very soft, it's quite minky. It looks great on her. She's got this crop top with these huge puff sleeves. It's very 80s. 80s was all about a strong shoulder pads, puff sleeves, like that is like a way you can tell that something is 80s inspired. And then we've got this really high-waisted mini skirt that's coming down into this A-line. Something about it is very 60s to me, very Mary Kwan, who is like the designer who created the mini skirt. So it's a really cool mix of references and it works really, really well. I think this is my favorite look from this performance. I love how it's been styled as well. I love that she's got these hold-ups. Like the look is very cute, so it's giving it this little like sexy edge. And then she's got these really cute strappy Mary Jane shoes on that are bringing it back to like the cutesy side. Honestly, like I think this is my favorite look from this performance. And then it's been finished with the black belt, the black choker. They tie together really well. It's just fucking fantastic styling. Next up we have Chaeyoung. To me, this is the most understated and the most 60s out of all of these looks, but I think it's the way it's been styled, which is giving me more of like that 60s vibe about it. Chaeyoung is wearing this really short mini dress with the high neck, the long sleeves. That really works when it comes to a mini dress because you're covered up everywhere else. It's all about the legs. And then we can see that there's this really nice like stone embellishment going across her bust. It's very understated. It's basically a black dress with a little bit of bling, and then she's got like the chain jewelry on, compared to the other members' looks that are like full glitter, like draped fabric. Do you know what I mean? This is incredibly understated. But then it's the fact it's been paired with those like knee-high silver metallic boots. Like the combination of those boots, the hair like worn half up, half down, like kind of Brigitte Bardot. It's just like really pushing it in that 60s direction. I really love it, even though it is the most understated look on the stage. Now the opposite of that, we've got Nayeon. This girl has got so much going on. She's got everything and the kitchen sink, but it works so well. And I'm literally like, how does this work? There is a lot going on here. I can't work out whether this is a romper, play suit, whatever you call it, wherever you're from, or if it's a dress, but regardless, she'll be wearing little black shorts under this anyway. So black shorts under a black dress doesn't really help me figuring out what this is. But anyway, Anyway, we can see Neon's got this halter neck shape with the peak collar. A peak collar is where your lapel pieces come out further than your collar pieces. It's very like traditional menswear, so love to see this here. It wraps over into this double-breasted shape, and it's got those 4 jeweled buttons. And then again, I don't know if it's shorts or a dress, but it is very short. And then she has this long train piece coming down behind her. This shape to me is very 60s, but also there's something quite Chanel about it. I remember Chanel did a show like ages and ages ago where it was like very short dresses with these like long trains coming like down the back. So that's why it's making me think of Chanel. Neon has then got those giant fishnet tights with the over-the-knee black boots. And then she's got those elbow length black gloves with all of the embellishment down the side. And then she's got the fascinator with the feather and the embellishment. There's just a lot. The fascinator, the gloves, the train, the fishnet, the boots, the jeweled buttons, but it all ties together so well. I'm literally like, how much detail are we putting on this look? But I love it so much. Complete opposite to Cheon's, but I'm here for it, so here for it. I'm gonna give the I Can't Stop Me KBS Song Festival performance 9 pink flowers out of 10. I love these looks, but they don't really relate back to the MV for me, so they're great, but I'm like... Next up, we have the NBC performance, the disco version of I Can't Stop Me on the 31st of December. I really like these looks, but in my opinion, there is nothing disco about these looks. The only look out of this whole lineup that has anything disco about it to me is Momo's. The rest of them, I'm like, where's the disco? But they're fantastic looks, but I'm like, disco, where is it? There are elements of their looks that tie into those denim and diamante looks from the MV, but apart from that, the concept stands alone to me. But glistening jeweled tassels, you have me, you have my attention. My first favorite look has to be Sanna's. Nothing disco to see here, but that silver tasseled mini dress with that square neckline, the spaghetti straps, it's just the movement of it under the lights. And maybe they weren't going for a straight up, like obvious, here I am at the DISCO kind of vibe. Maybe they were going for more of like a subtlety to it. This is like a very silver reflective piece. Maybe it's to represent like a disco ball or something like that. So I'm here for it. I love the way it's been styled as well with those white over-the-knee boots. It works really well. The color palette is like so in check because the other members are wearing white. So great job there for me. As I mentioned earlier, you'll see a lot of side splits in some of the dresses, and you can see that here on Sanna's. It's just purely to give her movement. If this was a normal dress going down the street, I don't think there would be slits in it. It is just for that movement value. And then you can see on the arm, she's got that little tasseled cuff. I like the tasseled cuff. I don't feel like it really needs it, but it just adds to like the movement when she's oogie on down. Ooh. The next look I really like is Dewey's. Again, the tassels, it's great. It's catching my attention. I'm a magpie at this point. Help me. I think this is a really nice cut on her. We've got that really nice halter neck cut that comes in like this. We've got the high neck. And then we can see we've got that like crisscross diamante shape that ties back to those denim and diamante looks from the MV. But then there's this like layer of like diamante tassels coming over the top. It's great. And then the skirt is completely covered in tassels. It's so good, like white metallic tassels. Talk to me. Love. Dewey's skirt's also got the side splits to let her move more. And then we can see she's got those white elbow length gloves. I love the gloves of this look. It just adds something, you know? You could take this dress and you could put anyone in it when it comes to like a New Year's Eve or like a Christmas celebration. But the fact she's got those elbow length gloves, that's what elevates it. You aren't really going to see many people like out in the club or in the bar with elbow length gloves on. I mean, I'd love to. I think it's also really smart that they've pulled her hair up here so we get the full detail of the look. And of course, Momo's look, as I said earlier, hers is the only one to me that is like disco. And for me, it's because she's got that halter neck crop top finishing at the waist, and then she's got those high-waisted flares, glittering, glistening everywhere. So for me, that's more disco than the tassel dresses, but I'm here for all of it. Give me some tassels, give me some shine. And then again, what I like about Momo's is that they've styled it with those black elbow length gloves. They've not gone overboard with the accessories because it is all about the crop top and flared trousers, but those black elbow length gloves, it just adds something extra to it, which is elevating it for me. I'm gonna give the I Can't Stop Me disco version performance on MBC 9 pink flowers out of 10. I love these looks, but I just can't give it a 10 because there's not enough disco to the looks. Like, I wanna see a bit more like DISCO up in here, but great looks otherwise. And then finally, we've got the Seoul Music Awards 2021. What I really like about these looks is that there is a combination of a lot of different looks. There are Chanel vibes coming through with the cuts and the tweed, and then there's also military references, and then like the crisscross like chain diamante, like relating to those denim looks from the MV. Like, I'm loving the mashup of those references coming together. It works so well. I do really like these looks, but I feel like where they're all black and white, and it's only when you get up close you can see like textures of tweed or textures of other fabric, that they get a bit samey. But I know the first looks we talked about, it was like all pinks, but there were different shades of pink, different scales of print. Whereas here, you don't really get to see that on camera until you're like up close to that member. So great looks, just a bit samey. But anyway, one of my favorite looks is on Daeun. This is the one that's giving me like strong Chanel vibes, because we've got that tweed crop top with that tweed skirt, and then you've got all of those beautiful like diamante details like going along the seaming, like around the bust and down the skirt. It just works really, really well. And on the skirt, the shape of the chains looks like a Chanel chain, but you can see that they're attached to the skirt. There isn't any movement. It's just the little charms on the chains that move when she dances. And it's just, I like it. It's a really cute cut on her. And then over the top of her like crop top, we've got this, it kind of to me looks like a very cropped polo top. I do think it's a bit strange, but it really, really works. And it's nice that it's a different texture to the tweed. If it was the tweed, it would be a bit like, what is that? But the fact it's kind of like, it looks like this jersey fabric, like sportiness to it, I think it really works with the look underneath. I also really love that this has been styled with that knee-high boot. It's giving it like a little bit of like a sexiness to it. And Daeun's very cute, so she can like pull off that little like sexy edge. The other look that really stood out for me was Naeon's. I love this little cord on her, like that crop jacket with the pencil skirt, and the way like the chain detail's been done. The jacket looks like a single-breasted jacket, and the skirt looks like it fastens in the front. It looks like there's like a row of like fastenings going like down the middle of the front of the skirt, and to me that really ties into her skirt from those denim and diamante looks, so I like the fact that they've pulled that through. Like I said, what I really love is the chain detail. On the top it's going in that like crisscross pattern, and then there's like the bits that like hang loose to give her like a little bit of movement, but that crisscross pattern really relates back again to those diamond and diamante looks. It's very, very smart. And then on the skirt we've got that same kind of pattern like cascading down like in a bigger scale, and then pieces of chain hanging off the hem of the skirt. I think it looks really beautiful. Again, it gives her a good amount of movement. I think what's also really interesting is you can see that the back of the skirt is slightly longer than the front of the skirt. I don't think there's any like practicality to it. I think it's just a design detail. I really like it, and I really like the length of the skirt with that jacket. It's really flattering on her. And then the length of that boot that sits just under the knee. They always nail the proportion. Like the boot is never too long for the skirt, or the skirt's never too long for the boot. Do you know what I mean? It's just the proportions are always perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and give the Seoul Music Award 2021 looks 8 pink flowers out of 10. The looks are great, but like I said, they're just a bit samey. Where they're all black and white and you only get to see textures when they're up close, it doesn't have as strong of an effect on camera as those first looks where it was like bright pinks, deeper pinks, houndstooth, dog's tooth. It was more graphic, so it had a stronger presence on stage, in my opinion. I want you guys in the comments to let me know what your favorite performance is looks-wise and what member is wearing your favorite look. But what you should do next is check out my Rosé Gone stage outfits review. I'll leave a little card up here for you guys. But thank you so much for watching, and a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed. You are amazing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.